Cuzco is the historic capital of the Inca Empire and was declared a World Heritage Site in 1983 by UNESCO. It is a major tourist destination and receives almost 1 million visitors a year. It is designated as the historical capital of Peru by the Constitution of Peru. The airport was named in honor of the Peruvian pilot Alejandro Velasco Astete, who was the first pilot to cross the Andes in 1925. At the train station to pick up the tickets for Machu Picchu. Cuzco is the capital of the Cuzco region as well as the Cuzco province. The city has a population of 350,000, which is triple the figure of 20 years ago. Located on the eastern end of the knot of Cuzco, its altitude is around 3,300 meters or 10,800 feet. The Cathedral of Santo Domingo in Cuzco, which is also known as Cuzco Cathedral, is set on the main square of the Peruvian city, the Plaza de Armas. The building was completed in 1654, almost 100 years after construction began. The Iglesia de la Compañía de Jesús, that also dominates the Plaza de Armas, was built at about the same time as Santo Domingo. At the distance we can see the tower of the Iglesia La Merced. The cathedral, as well as its official status as a place of worship, has become a major repository of Cuzco's colonial art. During the construction of this church, the Jesuits who were building it decided to make it the most magnificent of Cuzco's churches. The Archbishop of Cuzco then argued that it should not be allowed to compete with the splendor of the cathedral, and the conflict became so large that the Pope was called on to deliberate over the matter and give a verdict. By the time the message had reached the Pope in the Vatican in Europe and the message had returned to South America, the Iglesia de la Compañía de Jesús was almost finished, which is why it has such an ornate frontal facade. Then it was time to have breakfast at Los Balcones restaurant with views of the lovely Plaza de Armas. Erected in 1536 and rebuilt in 1680 after the Great Earthquake, the Iglesia de la Merced ranks just below Cuzco Cathedral and La Compañía Church in importance. The church was designated a minor basilica by Pope Pius XII in 1946. Plaza del Regocijo o del Cabildo. In the picture, the Cuzco Town Hall building, house of the Contemporary Art Museum. The plaza is adorned by a nice water fountain and surrounded by wonderful restaurants and coffee shops. Capturing pictures of Derek, a local girl, and her billy goat. Only a few yards from the main square of Cuzco, the center of the Inca world, we find the district of San Blas, home of famous and popular artists who do not get tired of weaving, sculpturing, or molding wonderful pieces. They get inspired on the streets of a snake shape, the adobe walls painted in white, and the famous pulpit of its centenary temple. Mark, Margarita, and Derek at the San Blas Church and Square. This is the street where you can find the famous 12-angle stone. That stone and its surrounding stones reflect the skill of Inca architecture. Monument to Manco Cápac and Mama Oclio. Hostal San Isidro Labrador. This colonial house, settled around 2 courtyards, has been comfortably adapted for receiving guests. The building is made of adobe, wood and stone, and all the rooms have wooden floors and are big and simple yet cozy. The location is almost perfect, 1 block from the main square. Coricancha, Golden Courtyard, originally named Inti Cancha, Temple of the Sun, was the most important temple in the Inca Empire, dedicated primarily to Inti, the sun god. From the first room, you can see all the way to the other end of the blocks of rooms through the well-aligned windows. These pieces of andesite, diorite, and limestone are some architectural elements found in this complex. They were used in the construction of walls, water canals, and ceremonial niches. These pieces demonstrate the technology and quality of workmanship known to the Tahuantinsuyo stone workers. This room was used in Incan times as an open ceremonial room. The 3 water channels in the main wall were connected to a lost fountain. Closed rooms. Complete view of the closed and open rooms. The ceremonial door. At the end of this corridor hangs a painting by a Cuzco artist, which shows the Milky Way over Cuzco in the months of July and August, when the sky is clear and most of the astronomical phenomena venerated by the Incas can be observed. The Spanish-style courtyard of the Santo Domingo Church. The Church of Santo Domingo was built on the site of Coricancha, using the ruined foundations of the temple that was flattened by the Spanish in the 17th century, and is a fine example of where Inca stonework has been incorporated into the structure of a colonial building. Major earthquakes have severely damaged the church, but the Inca stone walls, built out of huge, tightly interlocking blocks of stone, still stand thanks to the sophisticated stone masonry work. Reports by the first Spanish who entered Cuzco tell that over 4,000 priests served the Coricancha, that ceremonies were conducted around the clock, and that the temple was fabulous beyond belief. The wonderfully carved granite walls of the temple were covered with more than 700 sheets of pure gold, weighing around 2 kilograms each. Different pictures of the Santo Domingo Church built on the foundations of the Coricancha temple. The main sacred animals: the condor, the puma, and the serpent. This courtyard was filled with golden statues. Evening tour of Cuzco. The Stephenson clan driving by 40 cultural and historic places of Cuzco at night, using the friendly Tranvía de Cuzco. The tour started at the Cuzco main square. Driving by the Coricancha Temple. Celebration of the Holy Cross. The White Christ statue. Views of the city of Cuzco captured from the top of the hill where the White Christ statue is located. Driving by the Sacsayhuaman fortress. Back at the main square, where the White Christ statue overlooking the city of Cuzco can be seen.